Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap will be a two-part one. I've got quite a bit to get in. I've got one or two car boots items I bought. This is one of them. I'll get a close-up of that in a minute or two. There's also a friend of mine sent a lot of stuff up from down country, some patterns and odds and ends. I'll show them. They're very interesting. At least I think they're interesting. I do quite a bit of machining. I make an adapter. I make a mandrel for these change wheels for the Harrison lathe, so I can cut some new gears. I'm one or two gears short. I've had to borrow gears and I want my own. Update on Debs. Debs is doing very well. She's improving all the time. She's still very tired, but she is definitely improving. Her hair's growing back. She's lost some weight. She's looking well. Every night I get in from work, I try and take her out for a walk, and every night we're walking further, a little bit further and a little bit faster, so she's definitely getting starting to get herself fit again. Her treatment's not totally finished, but the worst of it's definitely over. She goes to see our specialist next week, and we'll see what happens from there. I've got a chuck key here off a wood lathe. It's got like a universal type of joint on it. And what's happened is it actually burst the chuck key apart. It's a very, very poor design. The guy can't get another chuck key, and it's a good chuck, good woodworking chuck, so he wants to know if I can fix this. The only way I can think of fixing it is to have the universal bit in, is to cut a cap head bolt down and weld the cap head. Weld the cap head into there so the head's welded in, and then use a ball end Allen key to give me his universal effect. That's hard, very hard and brittle. That's hard, hard and tough. I've got some dissimilar rods. I should be able to weld it together with. I'll cut a bit of that off, machine it down so it fits in, and see if I can stick it all together with a TIG. See if I can repair it for him. Just want to take some of the threads off and face the end. Make sure to weld that round there, get a nice fillet weld in, get some strength into it. I've got it held in an old lathe chuck that I use for holding round parts to weld on a homemade sort of rotary table. Once I get a decent fillet to weld down there, I think it should be alright. Well, it's welded together. It hasn't cracked as it's cooled down, which is always a good sign. Make a chuck key for it now, and that should a T-handle to go in there, and that should do them. That's the finished item. You've still got a fair bit of articulation on that joint there. this light on the mill for quite some time now. It's what's been dubbed as a double boost light. It's one of the little cheap IKEA LED lights. What's happened to it is the stem's lost its stiffness. It's got a touch of the brewer's droop, if you like, so it's not staying where you want it to stay. It still puts a good light out, but it's annoying when you're working and the light slowly drops away like that. I went to a car boot sale on Wednesday and I bought a new lamp. This is the lamp I bought, quite a substantial affair. It certainly hasn't got any brewer's droop. It's still 12 volt halogen. I've been trying to find somewhere to mount it. I think the ideal place to mount it will be on the back of there like that. So what I think I'll do is I'll cut the base of this clamp off, drill a couple of holes in it, and drill and tap 2 holes in the back of there, and I can bolt it onto there like that. On off switch on there. You can also turn around and point on the lathe as well, so it'll work on both machines. So like I say, I'll cut this off, drill it and tap it. That's nice solid cast iron. Just drill and tap 2 holes into there. I'll plug the light in so you can see how it works. That's it there. It's a nice bright light, nice white light. I think it'll be good for videoing as well. And like I say, if it's mounted onto there, it'll also shine on the lathe as well. There's no way to really clamp it, and this clamp's of dubious quality anyway, but I think that cut off and bolt it directly onto the back of there. 2 8mm bolts will be more than enough to hold it on. Right, that's where it's going to be going, mounted there like that. So you can mark those 2 holes and drill and tap them. I'm just going to work with the mill in the position it is. I'm not going to try and pull it out, it's not worth it. Just going to use a centre drill to mark them. What I'll do, I'll drill and tap one completely and then mark the other one off that. Been a very handy tool, this cordless drill. Right, this is the 8mm tapping drill. Back it's that tight, I think we'll need the 1 bolt in. That's excellent, that. Nice and strong the way it is, just with a 1 bolt. Right. That's pretty good. that. This stops anywhere you put it. This one's a lot more rigid than that. And like I say, I can also turn it around and I can point it at the lathe. So I've got this spare little LED light. What I'll do, I'll mount that onto my little tool and cutter grinder, because at the minute that's got a 240 volt light on it, which I don't like. Don't like it as much. It puts plenty of light out, but it's a 240 volt open bulb, not ideal in a workshop environment. I mean, I've had this light on here for a long time. It's been moved hundreds of times. I modified the mounting on the machine light. I've put a flat bit of bar on and bolted onto that, which means that the flexible bit's good straight up and down. That's the way it's meant to work. On its side it was trying to untwist it, so that works absolutely fine like that. Still get to the switch, no problem. And I can still point it straight into my lathe, no problem at all. Two or 3 weeks ago I machined an Acme thread for a lad. It was an Imperial left hand thread. This Harrison lathe is metric, so what I had to do, I had to put a conversion gear on so I could cut the Imperial thread. That's the important gear for the conversion, a 63 tooth. I haven't got one, I had to borrow that one. You can't get these, they're impossible to find. So what I've done, I bought a 72 tooth, which is big enough to machine the teeth off and remachine as a 63. I only paid £10 for that as a blank, and these are readily available. What I've also done, I've bought a dividing head for the mill machine. I've wanted one for a while, so I'll be able to divide the gear up. What I'm looking for is a 14 DP gear tooth cutter. I've got 1 or 2 people looking for them. I'm looking on eBay. The one I want is a number 2, and that's been very difficult to find as well. What I need to do now, I need to make a mandrel so I can mount this gear on the lathe to turn the teeth off, and also I can mount it either between centres or in the chuck on the dividing head to cut the teeth. I've got a piece of steel here. I'll just use that to make it out of. It come out the scrap bin. I'm not sure what it is, but it'll be good enough for this particular job. First thing to do is machine the end square, put a centre drill in it. I don't think we'll be using that. I don't know what it is, but when I see sparks come off something, it normally shows it's fairly hard, fairly tough. Certainly won't be using that. What I'll do, I'll use the end of this. This was the tool I made for machining or the jig I made for machining that motorbike sprocket. Which I know it is machinable, or at least easily machinable. But I know sparks. and you just machine it down to 22mm for a distance enough to get the sprocket on, a nice washer and a check nut. An accurate measure of the bore. Bang on 875. There's 14 thou to come off that. Take a 5 thou cut of it. That's 5 thou side, that'll take 10 thou of it. Getting near now. I'll finish this in a corner off by hand now. Bring the tool out. I've got a nice square shoulder in there. Put the chamfer tool in and break the two edges before I try it for fit. That's what they call the dog's bollocks. Need some threads on this end.